What's up, and welcome to the Indie Credible
Oh, man,
Podcast,
really
Season 3, Episode 4, a weekly podcast where we get together and chat about the world of indie gaming. We go through all the indie games we've been playing, we go for the latest indie game news, and we cover our main topic. This week's main topic is a really chilled one, actually, and we're kind of going to be chewing the fat, chatting around what we think this year's gaming trend is going to be. 2 years ago, it was Battle Royales. Everyone was like, at E3, we got a Battle Royale coming. Last year, I would say it was probably the roguelike Metroidvania. We had a lot
big time,
of, it's roguelike Metroidvania with RPG mechanics. And we're going to try and chat about what we think it'll be this year. Maybe both in the AAA scene as well as the indie game scene. But that's where we get to at the end of the show. Before we get there, we've got what we played to get through, as well as all this week's top indie game news. Joining me is Dan from At The Dice Bear.
Hello.
And you can find me at What's Up Woody if you want to find me anywhere. How's the week been,
Hunt
dude?
him down. It's been good. I'm on half term.
It is half term,
So
isn't
it's
it?
been...
I'm on a cushion, so I'm taking it out because I realised I sat like I was really high on you. If I take the cushion out, I'm now the normal height. So there we go.
Yeah. Okay.
It's been a good week.
It's been a good week. It's been really nice. My daughter's been away studying for a week in Guernsey, so I've been at home
Nice.
fixing taps and doing...
I saw you
the
put a
list
tap
of-
in.
Well, yeah, the tap completely bust.
I am so bad with DIY.
I went downstairs and it was dripping, and Corin was like, "Can you sort the dripping tap out?" And it's like, "Yeah, all right, I can sort it out." Took the bid off, and the tap just went exploded, and I'm like, "Shit!" I'd already turned the water off, so it wasn't like there was water going everywhere. But it was a case.
I wouldn't have even known you had to turn the water off.
You'd have just gone for it.
Fix it, Sarah. It's not leaking anymore.
I'm going out for a bit.
It's not dripping. Like, you didn't specify. You said stop the dripping.
It's no longer. But yeah, everything is flooded. So I had to put in a whole new tap and bits like that. But the problem was that the guy we bought it from ages ago, it was his first house.
Yeah.
So he'd gone on that whole DIY bender that people do when they get their first house, in that, I'm going to do everything, I'm going to give it a go, this is my place. And he'd done the plumbing, and he'd obviously never really done plumbing before, because he'd set all of the bits for the taps at exactly the same height. So all your bolts that you're supposed to be able to undo, the nuts and that lot, are at exactly the same height right next to each other. So you can't get your wrench in there properly, and you can't attach the bits at the same bit without jamming your fist between the pipes to spread them and then trying to twist them on. So I'm underneath the sink, effing and jeffing like anyone's business. Trying to get this freaking tap on.
I won't have a clue. Even painters, I said, Sarah, there's a reason people get paid money to paint, because it's a skill. Get them in.
Get them in. No,
Get them in.
I'm one of those people.
But I
refuse to pay. I refuse to pay.
hate painting. It is so fucking boring.
Yeah. I've got to paint the hallway tomorrow.
Even so, I'm putting shelves up. I'm like, hate it.
No, I do all that shit.
I do like, though, quite watching on, it's normally on Facebook, the Lad Bibles, like, on the tools.
Oh, yeah.
And you see, like, the people who are just doing weird shit on that. Like, they catch some guy who's got a big old, is it SCS drill or SDS drill or something? The big industrial one.
Yeah.
He's got like a spirit level on top of it, gaffer taped around, trying to keep it level. You're like, it's just not going to work.
What are you doing?
Even I know that's not going to work, mate. Yeah, DIY is not for me.
But no, and then playing board games.
I saw you playing some board games.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with Warhammer Underworlds. Which is just a great, really quick game. And then Neon Gods, which I'll bring around.
Yeah, I saw you talk about this. It's really cheap, right?
It was insanely cheap. So it's unfortunately only over here in the UK. But it was 15 quid, and it's basically a 60 quid game. Full of minis, full of cards, it's all bright, it's light, it's an area controlled deck building game set in the future of 2009.
When did the game release?
Oh no, the game released recently. It's taken the nick. So it's kind of like what the 80s thought the future was going to be like. So everyone has laser swords and it's all neon and it's all, there's a Freddie Mercury with a whip and a laser sword that's one of your guys you can collect. And it's a really good game. But I couldn't believe it was 15 quid.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Actually, I didn't know about the game. I just saw it for 15 quid and went, oh, go on then, let's get a board game.
I mean,
I'll buy that.
What's
and
the
it
worst
came
of having a
through.
board game like?
I thought it was going to be this little... because board games are fucking expensive.
Yeah.
They're insane. I thought it was just going to be a little thin card game, maybe a couple of minis, who knows. And then this massive box came through, and it's rammed with bits, and I was like, this is insane. So I thought, right, I'm going to tweet about this. Let's find out if this is just Rolex. Yeah. By Applied Hat Games as well, who did Dead of Winter. Do you remember playing that one?
Yes, that was good fun.
That's a really good one. And the Ashes Rise of the Phoenix Spawn, you know, that dice card game we played at Manor?
Yes.
Yeah, they made that one as well. So like, they've got a decent track record of making pretty good games.
Nice.
And yeah, basically the thing was, so they said on Twitter, was that they released it a year ago, but no one talked about it.
Oh.
At all. I went online to YouTube as well to find reviews on it, and there were basically none.
There was nothing.
I was like, oh, well, this game deserves a lot more than that.
Shout about it.
Yeah.
Shout about it.
So I did.
Nice.
And that's been my week. What about you?
Good stuff. Work, gaming, magic. That's about it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy that I made a jump across. For those who don't know, we do talk about indie games. We always have a little chilled section at the beginning. For those, maybe it's the first time I think, I thought this was an indie game podcast.
Indie Credible podcast?
Yeah.
What?
There's no indie games. I made a jump recently, changed games for streaming games. I streamed CCGs, and I went from Mythgard, which I still think is mechanically the best digital CCG I've played, what it offers, but it just has no one playing at the moment.
No.
So I made a jump across to Magic, which is a bit of a jump, because if you want to play that game competitively online and stream it competitively, you have to put money in. There's no denying you have to put money into it. But I'm getting there with it. There's so much. I actually think it's probably one of the most complex games to pilot as a deck pilot, because what I've learned makes Magic so versatile is your sequencing. Whereas so many card games, you're just waiting for your opponent's turn to finish them and you're playing. Magic is like as important on your opponent's turn as it is on your turn, and knowing your sequencing of when to play a card, like one sequence and out can be game, and it's nuts. So
and you've got to learn your opponent's decks as well. So when you play someone in your head, if you see, first move they play a blue land, you're like, okay, this is card draw control. Are they going to be playing in my turn mainly? So I need to be thinking about putting things in place that will stop that, or are they building in their turn? And I need to be thinking about finding ways of countering that. And you do spend a lot of time going, okay, they haven't played that card for a while, so it must be.
There's a lot
X,
more.
Y, or Z.
Definitely in Magic, it's the only CCG I've played, digital or paper, that makes the most of the bluffing from something like poker. Yeah. In terms of you can bluff your hand.
Yeah.
You can, the way you sequence cards, you can make them go, shit, they've got that in hand, and you don't have it in hand.
Yeah.
Like I've been playing Team of Rector recently, and on Arena you have to tap all your land at the end of your turn and re-tap it. It takes a good 30 seconds to do a combo. Even if I don't have the card in hand, I've won games where I've done it, and they're like, I'll forfeit this because they've got the finger. And I don't, so I'm like,
yeah.
But it's, I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely, there's so much to learn. And I do like the versatility of it. There's obviously the meta. There's a meta in every card game.
Yeah.
And although the meta of Magic, you're probably looking at 4, maybe 5 decks at the very, very top, there's still so much versatility. I play on ladder and I'll come across maybe 2 or 3 meta decks in a 5-hour stream session, and that'll be it. I mean, the rest will be weird. You're like, what the hell are they playing here? Like, you play a card that sees their hand, and you're like, what is their hand? What are they trying to do? And then they'll do some combo, and you're like, fair play. Fair play. I never thought of that in a million years. But yeah, that's just Magic, really. That's been my week. Should go on to indie games.
Let's go on to indie games.
That's what we're here
for.
Yes, but no, Indie Credible Podcast. We are available on YouTube. If you found us there, congratulations. Give yourself a pat on the back. We're also available on all podcast services. If you found us there, then congratulations. Give yourself a pat on the back. But now you know about the other services as well. Finally, we're available on patreon.com/IndieCredible. $1 a month gets you and us, because we record it, exclusive pre and post show content where we chat about absolutely anything. It's very rarely game related. We had a little bit of Div 2 in there today.
Yep.
Last week we had a tiny bit of the post show was all dreams last week. I can't remember the pre show was rugby drinking games.
Oh god.
Yeah. Tom was very fascinated by the rugby drinking games.
I suppose Tom's never been involved in anything like that before.
No, and he was like, "What? Why would you do that?" And I'm like, "This is what you do, innit?" But anyway, so if you want to watch that and find out what we do, then $1 a month over on Patreon. But let's dive into indie games. We kick off with what we've been playing this week. Dan, do you want to go first or second?
Let's go first, actually, because
Fire away.
so this week my main two, I've been playing one, and I always forget the subtitle of this. So it's Luna the Shadow Dust.
This is from the company you like, isn't it?
This is Application Systems Heidelberg, who did Nelly Cootalot and what was that other really good one we played at the thing? They're point and click adventures.
I really liked it. The virus one.
Yeah, Light something.
Unforeseen Instance.
That's the one. And they also did Ghost Control Incorporated, which is basically an old Ghostbusters game like you used to have on the Amiga, which I feckin' love. You can get it on Steam right now.
Yeah, and they're good point-and-click adventure games.
They're great yeah.
I don't know if Luna is. We'll find out in a minute.
Well, luckily, it is.
Oh, nice.
It's a really nice, beautifully animated, classic. You know it's Application Systems.
Mm-hmm.
When you're playing it, it's definitely their type of production. Who was it who... hang on. They didn't develop it. I can't remember who developed it now. Darn it, on the wrong one.
That's right.
Yeah, different developers, whatever. But you're a boy in a rabbit suit. So it starts off, you're falling down from the sky, you land on the ground, you're a boy in a rabbit suit, and there's this weird blue light. And you've got to make your way across this land that's slowly developing, very Escher style.
Okay.
Buildings, and it's a classic point and click, and you've got to swap between characters to solve puzzles, and it will be a Let's Play video up on the Indiecredible site where you can see me try and kill a dog in an apple press machine because I got the wrong idea of the puzzle until I realised what I was supposed to do and thought, oh good God, I've just spent ages trying to kill a dog.
Lantern Studios
are
the developers.
But I really enjoyed it. It's another great point-and-click adventure from these guys that have really nice visual puzzles. So there is one where you're in front of a fireplace, and above the fireplace are these 4 pictures.
Yep.
And they have rabbits and different faces of the moon on. And you've got to go through the door that has the right face of the moon on that the rabbit is pointing towards. Now, when you walk through that door, it takes you back into the room you were just in, but the candle above it has changed, and the moons are in a slightly different position. And the light on the door is different slightly, but you don't notice this straight away. The first time you walk through, you're like, oh, that door's open, I'll walk through that door on the other side. And then you walk through it, and you're back in the same room, you're like, hang on, oh, there's a puzzle here, what's this? And it captures you like that, and I've really enjoyed it, and I'm really looking forward to just spending a bit of time sitting down, completing the game, finding out what the story is, because I'm not quite sure what's going on. I've just saved this weird dog thing that I called Doggo and did try and kill in an apple press more than once, because I was sure that's what I was supposed to do. And then I had one of these moments where you're like, oh God, there's a door just there. All I need to do is get the dog to walk to the door, and I've literally boiled this dog, crushed this dog, and gone, oh no, I'm never going to get my PETA certified well done, you're not cruel to animals badge now. But yeah, it's out now.
Yeah, it's on PC.
It's on PC.
I think it's on Switch as well, actually.
That'd be cool.
If it's not on Switch yet, it's coming to Switch. It's not on Switch now, it is coming to Switch. I don't know when, but it's either on Switch or coming to Switch.
It's definitely a travel game. If I'm sat there
Unforeseen Instance is on Switch.
Yeah,
now.
Get that one as well.
And that's a good one as well, yeah.
And if you're a Doctor Who fan, get Nelly Cootalot.
Again, I've not played Nelly Cootalot.
She's a pirate. It's very cute. It's very reminiscent of the old school point and clicks.
Okay. I did
give a bucket to a rat and it will help a cat climb a tree to collect a banana that you'll then make the pirate king slip.
I did like Unforeseen Instance. What I liked about how they done their point and click adventures, or how Unforeseen Instance done it, was the puzzles had a logic to them. So it wasn't the nonsense, like you said, use a rubber chicken to ride down a rope. Like it was okay, this must go to, I get it now.
And it makes sense why you would do that.
Yeah, although at first you're like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah.
And visually, they're very attractive, but they're all very different.
Does this have, Unforeseen Instance has a really cool hidden hint system. If you were stuck, you could use a hint, but basically the first hint would be very cryptic. And then it'll get deeper and deeper. Basically, we'd end up telling you how to do it, but you had to go into the menu and choose to do that.
Oh, I have no idea. I haven't seen
I
that
liked
yet.
that because there was a couple of times where I was stuck and just one little hint. It was like, oh, awesome.
Oh, that
and
makes
it wasn't
sense.
a case of like, if someone really wanted to get through it, they could just look at the hints. And it was a case of, it was there if you wanted it, it was there if you didn't need it, which is quite a nice little
I don't know
feature.
if this one has it yet because I've just sat there playing it and I haven't reached that point yet. But I'm pretty sure there will be a point where I sit there going, "Oh God," and then I'll come back and tell you if it's got hints or if I just jumped on YouTube to find the answer.
Which you found out Tom does last week, didn't we? Because on 7th Sector, puzzles are too hard apparently, and the only way to solve them is from a YouTube walkthrough.
Oh, okay.
So I said to him, how did they solve them then?
Because they're a lot smarter than you.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that. And what else have you been playing?
And the other one I've been playing is another puzzle game called Dreamo, which is very much like The Witness.
Is this like a cube one? Is this the one?
This is a cube one, yeah. So you are in a plane crash, you wake up, this weird text message voice basically starts telling you that you're in a coma.
You are in a coma.
Oh, no, it shows them as text bubbles, but she talks.
I see what you mean. I thought you meant as in like, when your text reads out to you. Like...
Stephen Hawking starts talking to you.
R.I.P.
Really? He's been dead a while now.
Yeah, you know. Still, show some respect.
Oh, okay. Okay. And you go and you've got to put cogs. It starts off, you put a cog on a cube, it makes it turn, you solve the cube.
Yep.
Next part of the island opens up. She starts talking about, your memories, are these real? Where are you? It's the puzzles are nice. They get more complex as you've got to learn which way to move gears to make things spin in the right way, or the puzzles are nice. The story is fucking not.
Is it like? Do you remember?
It's like
Ep4.
Yeah.
Do you remember? I quite like the one where you flip the puzzles around and you have to work out how to get around there.
Move around.
And I like the puzzles, but you had this weird thing over the top going, this is the tree of life.
Oh, yeah.
Are you part of humanity? Or are you just shut up.
It's the same sort of thing, except they're trying to be clever. So it's like every other game you've played. So if you've played Portal, and whereas Portal did it was witty and it was funny, and it was really the first time we had a good play with this idea of is our narrator really trying to help us or are they against us? Blah blah blah. Or what was the other one I was thinking of? Spectrum Retreat, which did a really nice job of this hotel was playing against you, and that was good. But you become used to this system of am I dead? Am I alive? Blah blah blah. We're looking at existence. We're looking at life. I don't really care. And she chunters on all the fucking way through. The worst thing is, right at the start, they say your name's Jack. Come on, Jack, we're going to do this. And you're like, okay, fine, my name's Jack. I don't care. Second area you solve, you get a jar with the word Jack on it, except it's got the dots in between, which basically means that Jack stands for something else. Whereas you go, oh, look, it says Jack. That's my name. It must be for this. And you're like, well, no, you've quite blatantly told me already that this is now some sort of experiment, or it's this, and I am just not invested in the story. It's not well written, because they've given everything away at the start, and they keep trying to. It's as if they want to do everything, but within the first 5 minutes, and you're like, I don't know.
I feel like that happens quite a lot, and I don't mean any disrespect to any indie devs here because they're doing more than I can do in making a bloody game. And it's take a lot of hard work to make a game. But what really irritates me, one of the probably biggest things is when we go to shows like Rezzed or EGX or anything else, you play a game and the devs are so passionate about it and they think that they are the first person creating this idea. Yeah. And you play it and then you're like, I've played this about 100 times before. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, but we're doing... Perfect example is Still Rats. Like,
oh, yes.
We played Still Rats, and they were like, yeah, but we're on bikes. And I'm like, yeah, but this, like, your core gameplay isn't enough anymore. Like
it's the same thing we played 1,000 times.
I've played this so many times. Just the fact that I'm on a bike now. Like, and it's just, and that's a shame when I feel like devs sometimes get too wrapped up in their games and they don't, like, again, an example I'm going to use is, I can't remember the dev's name now, but Order's Blood is a turn-based, like, XCOM style game coming out later this year. The prologue's available now. It's a witch hunting, Lovecraftian inspired, very kind of 2D Dark Souls art style. It's stunning art style. I played the prologue this week, and that has been made by developers who have clearly gone out and played every single one of the modern turn-based strategy games
and then just
gone, what do we like about this one? What don't we like about this one?
Yeah.
And that's gone into it because it is so well balanced in terms of what I would want from that kind of game.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what devs have to do nowadays.
What I never understood when people come out and they've created games, like when Destiny first came out, and they were like, we're going to make, it's basically an MMO first-person shooter.
But that was marketing issue.
And you were like, okay, that's great. But it was like they'd never played an MMO. No. And they'd never, even now, I go onto these things and like, this isn't it. As someone who played Warcraft and spent years in
it was the whole thing, wasn't it? That was clearly, we found out now, a marketing decision by Activision.
Yeah. To
call it a shared world shooter, because as soon as they split from Activision, the first thing they say is, this is an MMO. That's the first thing they said.
Yeah.
And you can now, if you go in Destiny 2 now, it is an MMO. They have the raids, they have the dungeons. The way it's set up is a straight up MMO. And it's what the game needed.
But there were lots of these that felt like that. So, like Anthem, for example, did exactly the same thing. And you just sit there going, hang on, this isn't it. How have you not played these other games?
Yeah, it's so... Anthem is sad to me because I loved the game. I say I loved the game. I loved the idea of the game.
Yeah.
And I genuinely enjoyed the moment-to-moment gameplay. Just what was wrapped in just wasn't enough. This is someone, I put like nearly 100 hours into Anthem, which is probably 99 more than most people.
It'll be free to play soon.
Well, it's getting over, isn't it? They've announced it's getting a complete overhaul, and I think it will do exactly the same. I think Anthem 2.0 will come out.
Yeah.
And it'll be free to play, and it'll do exactly the same as Destiny's done, where it'll be seasonal battle pass DLC stuff. Yeah. So pay 15 quid, get into the season, 60 quid a year if you want to play all of it. Everything's free to play, but these events at times, get them free the following year. And I think that'll be great for the game because it's what is there as a core moment-to-moment gameplay is great. And swapping the weapons out was good fun.
Yeah.
There was moments of the BioWare story in there, like hidden moments of it.
Really hidden.
The issue, what you had to do is you had to go speak to every fecker in the base to find that story. But anyway, that's Anthem.
But Dreamo's done the same sort of thing. They've gone in and whoever's been in charge of creating the actual gameplay loop of you get these puzzles, you have to solve these puzzles, has done a nice job.
Yep.
It's nice. Whoever went in and went, right, we need a story, has gone, right, I've looked at all these games and they all do this. Let's do all of them. And you're like, but so we're going to hire in a writer? Nah, we don't need that. My mate Terry, he once wrote a porno. So we're going to get him to do it.
We mentioned something similar to this last week about how when devs do voice acting, and clearly their budget's low, and you can tell when it is because Tom put up a What Is video for The Curse of Annabelle, and it's really funny in that because the voice acting on the lead guy is really bad, and there's a moment where Tom's like, "Oh, she's left me a book. She must want me to read it," and then literally the guy straight afterwards pretty much goes, "Oh, there's a book. Maybe she wants me to read it." Tom was taking the piss of how bad he was sounding voice acting, but it was literally how the guy was sounding.
The voice acting isn't too bad. It's just what they're saying
is bad.
Also, once you get a puzzle. What you do is you look at it, and within 3 seconds, she's like, "Oh, this one might be really tricky. Maybe you need some help." And you're like, "Hang on, I've literally just started looking at it." Yeah. And you put the first couple of bits on, and she goes, "This is really hard. We should get some help." And you're like, "No, just cough, love. I've literally started. If I've been on this 10 minutes, then get back to me. But until then, shut up." And I think even during the Let's Play, I think I tell her to shut up at one point. Because I just had enough of
nothing wrong with that.
Chuntering at me, and I've only just got the bloody puzzle. So, Dreamo, puzzle's good. Rest of it, nah.
Mediocre.
I'd stick with Luna.
Fair dues, and that's wrapped up what you played.
That's it. Indie game wise,
Cool. I am going to kick off. So I played 3 games this week. I actually played 4 because I mentioned All Just Blood, but I haven't finished the prologue yet. I only played like 20 minutes of it, so I'll speak about that next week when I finish the prologue. Kick off with Bleeding Edge, which is Ninja Theory's out of nowhere. Everyone was like, "Oh, Ninja Theory could announce a new story game, new IP," and they announced a character-based shooter combat thing.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "Oh, okay, really? Why?" The beta dropped last Friday, actually, and I jumped on last Friday evening with your brother to play some games. And this is quite possibly the worst character-based
Is it really?
combat game I've ever played. It is... Okay, so I'm going to be polite in terms of how I want to break it down, because... So, the best comparison I can give for Bleeding Edge is, don't think Overwatch or Paladins, think Paragon.
Oh, no, I
Because
really
it's-
liked Paragon.
Yeah, so did I. We played a bit together.
Yeah.
The reason I say Paragon is it's all combat is melee based. There's very, very few range based things. Most of combat is melee based, and that's the same as Paragon.
Yeah.
So that's the way why I say compared to Paragon. The issue Bleeding Edge has is the first issue is they've tried to be like too. I don't know if you call it quirky or edgy or whatever in their character design, but they just look shite.
Okay.
It's like, look at this
That
dude.
doesn't sound like
He's a
Ninja Theory.
skeleton who's got a guitar and he's going to slide on his knees and attack. And I'm like, yeah, I was doing this in Brutal Legend like 12 years ago. Like, this isn't cool. This isn't new. And then they've got this other guy who's like half body, he's a snake and he spits. And I'm like, they've tried to be like, the best way I can describe it is try to be really emo. Like, everyone's got an emo edge to them.
It sounds like they've done what was it, Hasbro did when they had it's Mattel did when they ran out of ideas for He-Man bad guys, and they just started slapping different bit. Snake Badger,
Snake Badger.
Hammerhead car. We don't know. The kids are going to buy this shit.
Yeah.
Just slap it together, give it a cool name. They did the same to the Turtles, didn't they, with the toys after a while?
Yeah, they did actually, didn't they?
B-Squid.
But no, so it's just, but it has no personality. It has nothing to it. It is just a case of, and what's really bad about it is, if you're losing, you've lost. There's no comeback mechanic to it. There doesn't feel like there's a way to come back.
Oh, okay.
And all it leads into is, so the maps are pretty damn big. It's 4v4.
Yeah.
The maps are pretty big. And teams just run around in a team. So then once one person dies, the respawns are quite long. So then that team pretty much wins. Because otherwise you have to wait while they're getting all the points to then go in again. And hopefully that your team comes out on top to then run around as a team.
So is it a MOBA or is it
it's like a point control system. Like there's 3 points on the map, go get this.
So it's like domination then.
Yeah, like
domination type thing in a FPS game.
Yeah,
except
basically,
third person.
It's third person melee combat.
Okay.
And it's just super boring. We played 2 games and I couldn't bring myself to play anymore.
Wow.
I was like, I don't know, this is so boring. And your brother loves character-based shooters, and he's played about 5 or 6 games because he played before I jumped on, and he was just like, I can't play this anymore. The abilities are so dull. Like, again, what I said in the pre-show was I thought Paladin's done a really good job with their support characters and their tanks.
Yeah.
This is a case of a support. It's just a support. Just make sure you stay near people and keep them healed. Like, that's all you do, basically.
Oh, okay.
It's really boring. It's really dull. I saw IGN doing a review in progress, and they've given it a 7 out of 10 review in progress. Honestly.
Oh, that means it's shit from IGN.
Honestly,
7
like,
out of 10.
This game is diabolical. Like, it is so bad. I can't understand how they got it so wrong. It is awful. Actually awful.
It doesn't sound like a Ninja
also,
Theory thing either.
the maps, and this is my personal gripe here, the maps do not fit in with the game's art style at all. They look like, because they've got this really weird, quirky art style,
Yeah.
and it looks like, oh look, we've got this map of a temple. Well,
This isn't just an assets game.
It's what it
as
feels
in
like.
they've been making lots of different games, and someone's turned around to them and said, "Look, you've been working on this for ages. It's cost us this amount of money.
Well,
you need to make
Xbox
a
own them,
game
don't
of
they?
this."
Well, Microsoft own them now.
Microsoft own them now. Yeah.
And another little gripe, this is really weird, and the brother really feckin' hated this, was, so there's one game mode where you have to, like, these orbs open up around the map, you get these orbs, and then you have to bank them in these circles of light.
Okay. Yeah.
And banking them takes, like, maybe 10 seconds, like the bar goes across.
Yeah.
And that. But these orbs of light move, and they have environmental kills. So they have like an electric fence that they go through. So if you go on at the wrong time, you can't bank them because you end up dying and you lose your orbs. And it's like, why would you add environmental kills to these orbs. Like, it doesn't make it cool. It's not trendy. It's not, there's a reason Overwatch and Paladins haven't got environmental kills that can be cheesy. Because they don't work.
No.
Like,
people get frustrated with them and then don't play.
This game it's not good.
It's not.
It is not good.
Next. Has the possibility to get good, or
maybe they need a lot bigger
or...
character pool.
Yeah.
They need more of a, variety within characters. They need smaller maps, and they need more mechanics that if you're one-on-one with someone, you have a chance of winning. At the moment, it is a case of if you're one-on-one with the damage, you're dead. You don't have and I get that if I'm playing a healer and I'm one-on-one with a damage or an assassin, yes, I probably would die, but I need to have the chance that if I play well, I can succeed.
But if you're not playing in a MOBA, then why would you have? If this is just a hack and slash game, why would you have a healer?
It's the same as Paladins.
You're going for duos, but in Paladins and that lot, you're very much basing it. You're doing the same sort of thing as lanes. So if I'm a healer, I will stick with my assault guy, and you'd work together to move around.
That's what I mean. What they've done here is they haven't got the versatility to do that, and everyone's very much playing for themselves, and it's just not. It wasn't a fun experience at all. Next up, I played Corruption 2029, which released this week, and it is a new game from Bearded Ladies. Bearded Ladies are the guys who developed Mutant Year Zero.
Yes.
So Corruption 2029 is another turn-based strategy game. Very similar to Mutant Year Zero in terms of you have the open world or open area levels where in between turn-based combat you are free running around, picking stuff up, and then it goes into turn-based combat. It's Mutant Year Zero, so you're playing as a duck, a pig, and a girl.
In an absolutely appalling mess.
And Corruption 2029 is a lot more military-based. You're playing as these kind of humanized robots. Some are complete robots, like armies who are taking down another humanized robot army thing. Now, I went into this very, let's say, mixed feelings because I was super hyped for Mutant Year Zero.
Yeah, I was too. I was really looking forward to that.
I liked the setting of Mutant Year Zero. I liked some of the story elements of Mutant Year Zero, but I didn't like the gameplay. It wasn't very nice. Mutant Year Zero.
Yeah, sorry, I'm flicking between Mutant Year Zero and Corruption here, and they're pretty much the same, except Mutant Year Zero has more green.
Yeah,
Visually, I'm saying.
So, I will get on to that in a second, yeah. So I none of us like the gameplay of Mutant Year Zero. It felt very underdeveloped as a turn-based strategy game. Now, Corruption 2029 is a lot better as a turn-based combat game. It's actually very good as a turn-based combat game. The way it works is it does use a percentage-based system to hit, miss, and all that, but it's broken down into a scale of 4. You have 100%, 75%, 50%, 25%. It's not this 76% or anything like that. And the reason they do that is because it builds in with your cover. So full cover will give you a 75% bonus. If they have a 100% chance of hitting you in full cover, that goes down to 25%. So what I like about that is it's simple maths to work out strategy.
But like Mutant Year Zero, then there were points where I had 98% chance of hitting and I'd miss, or I'd have 100% chance of hitting and I'd miss. So because it said you've got 100% chance, but it's still a gamble.
So this is why
still in the game.
So this is why it's better. I've played 5 hours, 5-6 hours of the game this week. I've never missed 100%.
Right.
And 100% that it has you're going to do 4 squares of damage. Then it will have on top, there's a 40% chance of it being crit, and it will do an extra 2 squares of damage. 75% genuinely, I even had a pad where I was marking down to see if it worked out at 75%. And it was more like 80 to 85% on the 75%. Right. 50% was bang on, 50-50. But you do also have these new mechanics in there, which are these traits, which can then use to increase percentage. So you can then increase stuff like if someone is built, so if you have a certain robot that builds into a trait with a single shot, it's basically a sniper rifle, but they don't call it a sniper rifle. Then you pretty much have if you can see a target, you have 100% hit rate.
Right.
But you're super squishy and things like that. So you have these builds a bit more. Like I said, as a turn-based combat game, it is very good. It also nails what Mutant Year Zero is trying to do with the real-time setting up the turn-based. Yeah. Because in this one, you have this cloak system. So when you're not in cloaks, you have these kind of, like Mutant Year Zero, these pulsing circles around the players.
Yeah.
We can see where they can see, where they can't see, or where they can hear, where they can't hear. When you're in cloaked, it's a lot closer to them. So you go in cloaked, although a couple of times I pressed the wrong button, I come out of cloaked like right next to them. I was like, shit.
Yeah.
But that was my fault. But you close system, you get nice and close to them, you set up your 3 guys, 4 if you end up unlocking the fourth person. But you set up around them, and then you hit spacebar to ambush, and then if you initiate the ambush, all 4 of your players gets to go before they get a go. If you don't kill them in the time of that first go, then they can potentially call in reinforcements, or maybe it was someone else go, we heard something, and they'll come in and it'll get slightly harder. But yeah, as a turn-based combat game, and what they were trying to do in Mutant Year Zero, they've nailed and they've done here.
Right.
However,
yeah,
the game is extremely dull.
Oh, okay.
In terms of Mutant Year Zero had this pig, duck, woman. The arc was underwhelming,
Oh
but
my god, it was awful.
The world was actually intriguing. I wanted to play the world. This is civil war between robot-human company and robot-human company, and it's like a military. You're going to go in and retrieve this data. Cool.
So it's paint by numbers.
Yeah.
Dull.
There is not a trait I haven't seen in another game here. There is not a perk upgrade I haven't seen in another game here. There's not a weapon I haven't seen in another game here. So yes, it is a very good turn-based combat game. If someone loves these games, you're probably going to enjoy it because it's well done. However, it is just dull, and visually, environments just looks literally. I feel like I'm playing for Mutant Year Zero.
Yeah.
On the environments, the only thing they've changed is the characters I'm playing as.
Yeah.
And it just feels. Oh, and the AI is sometimes awful. They'll like run into the middle of a bathroom that's got one door and be like, keep an eye out over here. And you're like, all right, fine, mate. You stay in that bathroom. You've got to run back out. So I'm going to stand here and hit Overwatch and wait for you. Oh, look, you're dead now. Like, and that's playing on hard. Like, yeah. So it's a weird one. I'm not going to sit here and say don't play the game because it is definitely a step up from what Mutant Year Zero offered as a game. However, why they've gone to go down this route, like Mutant Year Zero had, like I know it was a paper RPG, and that's where they got inspiration from. But why they went down a military-based route, but it's just so bland, I don't know. Because XCOM is a military game, but it's got aliens, so it's interesting.
Yeah.
Like, it's as simple as that. I've been playing Phoenix Point recently, which is one of my favourite turn-based games. It's on Game Pass. And again, it's a military shooter, but it's got aliens.
And weird stuff. And you're just like, oh,
and this is just like
interests me, yeah.
Army against army. It's like, you had this, like, here's what I'm hoping. That third game nails it.
Well, they managed to mix the two.
They managed to mix the two.
Why didn't they just go back and just get Mutant Year Zero? Mutant Year 1.
Yeah, that's what Tom was saying.
Yeah, and just like take
but
that
I just,
shit, put it into the world, because I wanted the ducks. I like the fact you could mutate your characters in that to give them bits. And I was like, oh, this is exciting.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the system is shit. I like the...
Yeah, honestly, as a game, this is stealth mechanics work. The open world stuff works. Like, everything works. And that was straight away, I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. This works. Yeah. I like the fact it's only a 4-scale system, because it's really easy to work out. Okay, this guy's going to get shot at, but because I haven't got enough action points to get them there. But if I get them to full cover now, they've only got a 25% chance of hitting them.
Yeah.
If they move, then I can cover this guy here to give Overwatch. And it makes the math easy to do. So I'm like, I can set up, and that's what it should be in a strategic based, like I can set stuff up so I'm in complete control.
Yeah.
And it works with it. It's like, okay, I've only got a 25% chance of hitting, but they can't shoot back at me. I'll take my gamble on it. Like, and then it comes in the whole, when do I reload? Because that's one of my action phases and all this stuff. And that's why I love these games. And it works wonderfully here. Just so bland. It is only available on Epic Games Store at the moment, so 80% of PC players won't even play it.
Yeah.
It is coming to Steam, and it will be coming to consoles at a later date. But the whole game is not early access. It is a straight up, the game is out. I'm 5 hours in. I've done about 3 missions. Missions are quite long.
Right.
First mission isn't. It's pretty short, standard. Second mission's a bit trickier. Third mission, it is actually quite tricky. I mean, I am playing on hard, but it is genuinely times when I'm like, okay, I really need to think about how I approach this situation. Do I, okay, this guy's just going to hide, like bunker down, so he's only got 10% chance of getting hit because I need to reload. And when there's a lot of strategic stuff going on the flank, like this guy's going to do nothing for 4 turns, but after 4 turns, he's going to flank them from behind and he's going to get shots there. And that's the kind of, I like that stuff of the game, but it does really add into the length of the stage, shall we say. This isn't a game for someone who goes, oh, I want to play my first turn-based strategic game. Like, this isn't the game for that. This is definitely more of an experienced person's game because it is genuinely quite hard. And finally, I'll chat quickly because I said I'll keep people updated with it as I dive into Dreams.
Dreams.
So you played a little bit of Dreams today.
Had to go on Dreams today, yeah.
I've put in about another 10 hours this week, mostly on the creator side because before I'd pretty much just played the games on Dreams.
Yeah.
And I've played a few games on Dreams this week, but I've been jumping into the creative side and trying to learn that. It's extremely robust for what it offers. Like it's the more I'm diving into it, the more I'm learning. Obviously, last week I spoke. I didn't like the control system. I'm not 100% sold on the control system, but I can definitely see that's the only way they could really make it work properly on a.
It's a problem with having a controller. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. I said last week, I wouldn't be surprised if something like PlayStation 5, if it does really well, they release like a Dreams peripheral, like an arcade.
There needs to be
an arcade stick, but like a thing you put on your lap with like a mouse.
You need a mouse and keyboard for it.
We don't even need a keyboard.
Not a full keyboard, but like
just need
a
hotkey buttons. Yeah. And then like even a trackpad or something to like move around. You know what I mean?
The old ball one that you could spin. That'd be amazing.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they release something like that, or if some company come up with that, like as a third party thing. But it's So I finished the story now. Last week I hadn't finished the story. Finished story. Story is straight up good. The story is like the story game is 3 hours long. It's fun. It's dark. It's not for children. But it's good. It has point and click game in there. It basically says this is what you can do in Dreams. You want to make a point and click game. This is how it works. You want to make a twin stick shooter. This is how it works. You want to make a platformer. This is how it works. You want to make a bullet hell. This is how it works. And you're like, okay. And then when you start jumping into people's creations now, you're like, oh, these people have got this down. Like people are starting to nail stuff in that game. Or in that software, we probably should say, because I don't know if you can even call it a game. Some of the highlights I played this week, I played a Silent Hill game that is a Silent Hill game set in the universe of Silent Hill at the same time as Silent Hill 1, but isn't Silent Hill 1. And it is very much so. The environments look great and wonderful. The story's there. There's full voice acting in the game, but all the characters they have no texture to them. That's the way they've kind of done it for now. And you can play through about an hour and 20 minutes of this game and then it stops. And they're like, come back in the summer when we finish. And I was like, wow. Like, one thing I have noticed the game does really well is it really promotes collaboration. So it basically says, when you make something, it's like, these people are making stuff similar to you. And you're like, oh. And then it kind of says, do you want to message them to work together? And you're like,
nice.
Okay. Like, I haven't messaged anyone yet, but you start playing games and you start seeing, like, the credits. And there's, like, 30, 40 people working together on some games. And as I said to you earlier, and as Tom and I said last week, if you think about what communities come together and made in Minecraft over the course of 6 months a year, when they made, like, Middle-earth, and they made, it was insane. I cannot wait to see what groups of 30, 40 people make. Like, we're going to probably straight up have, like, you want Dino Crisis Remake? It's probably going to appear. It's just like...
About time.
It's just like... and there's no copyright in there. You can literally so I can download music from the internet, put it on my USB, plug it into my PlayStation, put that theme tune in if I want to, and play. Because there's no money making, it doesn't get published. I can literally rip off anything I want and put it into the game. Which is nuts.
I'm worried about that bit.
Portal 2 has just been popped up. Someone is making Portal 2. And there's a proof of concept at the moment where they've actually made Portals work. Yeah. And I was like, well, that's nuts in its own right. Because I'm getting to the point now where I'm learning the animation and the very basic of what they call logic, which is their programming sequence. And I'm now playing games. I'm like, how did they do this? And I'm like, I have no idea. Like, people are so far ahead of me on that game. It is. Now, I'm going to only play it as a casual person. I want to make, first off, I want to make a rally game.
Yes.
I like racing games. I want to make a rally game. potentially where you play as a hamster in a ball.
Super Monkey Hamster.
Yeah.
Hang on, Super Hamster
That's
Rally.
it. With
Super
drifting.
Hamster Rally, there you
With
go.
drifting and things like that.
Yeah, nice.
So that's the first thing I'm going to make. But eventually, I've also said to Tom and Brian, I want to make the Serenity of Firefly and make a Firefly game. But what I would like to do eventually is I want to make an 80s CCG where each deck is a different movie.
Yeah.
And you can mix and match. So at the moment, I've not seen anyone make a card game in Dreams.
Yeah.
But I guarantee, I'm thinking that, and I'm like, how the hell would you do it? But I know some genius out there will go, well, this is how you do it. Here's a card game.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, oh my God. Like, so when I know how to do that, also I want to make, as a bit of fun, a endless runner from the mannequin scene where they're on a motorbike. And just have Starship playing on loop in the background.
And you just go past shop windows.
That's it.
All the time.
Yeah.
Dodging a
Just
guy
stop
with
people
really
just-
weird glasses.
That's it. Like,
Nice.
yeah, there's all sorts in there. Because you can make... I completely forgot that you can make straight up 2D sprite art game in Dreams.
Yeah.
And people are now making like the original Mario games again.
Yeah.
Like, it's nuts what you see there. People like... And it is a case of it is genuinely an artistic suite. In case, like, a lot of people will think of it straight away of, people are making games.
Yeah.
But in 6 months' time, we'll be seeing like 10, 15-minute animated movies in there.
Yeah.
We'll be seeing, I showed you the Star Wars animation earlier.
Star Wars one was really good.
It was like obviously a bit janky here or there, but they made it in like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
It's just like, what? And you'll have pieces of art in there. People are starting to make like, someone's made Spyro. There's a person who makes these get to the end, and all you got to do is literally get from the start to the end and play as a character. There's Spyro, there's Sonic, there's 2B from Nier Automata, and they make them because they're like, no, go use my art, make a game with this art.
Yeah.
And that's what people are doing. And you can literally, any game we played earlier, I could go, if they allow it, I could go into what they call the mix up, and I can literally go save to my assets. And when I just save, I take their lot, like they're programming everything from that asset. I save it, and then in later games I can use it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is going to become an incredible, I hope it becomes an incredible ecosystem of...
Well, they're already doing game jams in there,
Yeah.
which I was impressed to see. So they're taking that indie idea and trying to make it part of what they do, which I think is incredibly important. And the fact that you've already seen teams...
Yeah,
that's really good. That's a good sign. What they need now is they need a game that captures the imagination of everyone who plays it. They need their own version of Meat Boy, Minecraft.
Well, they're going to
whatever.
They said they're going to keep releasing single player games as Media Molecule. Like, they want to make games, and they want to push the engine, because that's effectively what it is. It's a game engine.
Yeah,
they want to push the engine, so they're going to keep making single player games and releasing single player games for free in there. Like, Dream is 35 quid to buy into. I'm not going to say everyone go buy it straight away now, but genuinely it's like an endless, like, it is, at the moment, the best way to see it is fun little mobile games on your PlayStation. That you can jump in, play around for a bit, jump out.
Give it 7-8 months.
You're going to have full-fledged games that you can go, I'm just going to jump in there. And then, so here's rumours. I was reading a blog that Media Molecule, the way they answered this interview wasn't no, we're not putting that in there. It was this is probably coming. So they're adding the potential, these are rumours, for creator-made achievements that will lead to your level. So you can add in achievements, people can play your game, get achievements to add to your Dreamverse level, they call it.
Right.
The ability to buy servers and pay for a server to make an online game, which would be nuts. Like, online first-person shooter. I can make my game where I throw unicorn plushies at people when they explode. Like, that can be a thing. Like the South Park.
Dreams do come true.
Like the South Park snowball fight game, but with unicorns.
Oh my god, that game was shit.
Yeah. And then the other rumour is that it's going to be pre-installed on all PlayStation 5. Now, we do know that it is working on PlayStation 5. They've confirmed that, and they said, yeah, we're running on PlayStation 5 at Media Molecule now. But the other rumour is it will come pre-installed, which wouldn't surprise me because they are a Sony company. And remember, Killswitch not Killswitch Engage.
That's a band.
That's a band.
Killzone,
was pre-installed, wasn't it, on PlayStation 4?
Was it?
Yeah, if you brought a launch PlayStation 4, you had to have Killzone on it.
Oh, okay. I didn't
So
know
for the
that.
first year, I think it was, you couldn't get a PlayStation without Killzone on it. Which I didn't mind because it's actually not bad.
Killzone's a good one.
Um,
I think that would be an interesting idea for them to do. As this is your launch title game. And obviously, by the time PlayStation 5 launches, imagine the freaking games that will be on there. It's going to blow people's minds.
And then if they release the server thingy, that's where they're making continuous money.
Yes.
Like, and everyone's got them because people go, and they can release DLC. Like, they could release packs and going, hey, do you want to buy a racing pack for £4? You got a car, you got logic, you got wheels, you got everything's animated. Like, so people who just want to make a game, they could just buy that DLC. Like, it's nothing different to a Unity asset store.
Yeah.
But apart from a Unity asset store, you spend £250 on a car. Like,
yes.
And yeah, so there's nothing wrong with Media Molecule going, actually, do you know what? We're going to give away a game for free on PlayStation 5, but we're going to make money off. And there's no, you could just go and make it yourself. But some people who just want to make level design.
I suppose that's the really good point. So it wouldn't be seen as much of a rip-off because all you're doing is saving time by buying someone else's stuff.
Yeah.
They're not hiding bits from you and saying, well, no, you can't make it unless you spend this money. You can make it.
Yeah.
But if you're like me and can't be buggered, well, chuck a couple of quid that way and you've got yourself a racing
They have said that
game.
they're not going to charge anything in game for content. That's what they have said. So I don't know if that would change, but like I said, the only other way they could make money is through servers. If they put servers, so I think a lot of people will buy into servers. Think about how many brought a bloody Minecraft server, and that was just to play with friends. Like, if you can buy a server to play online against people, like, that's kind of nuts. Yes, but no, Dreams. I'm really enjoying it. It is. Here's one thing I will say is if you're a kind of person who only has 3-4 hours a week to do some gaming, this is it's fun, but it's a time investment. If you want to really learn it, I still sticking with, I said last week the round figure of I reckon 50 hours will get you down with how to make something before you can really start diving in and make it so good. And I'm like 28, I'm probably about 15-20 hours in now. And I would say I'm comfortable making stuff now, some stuff now, but I'm still like, there's so much goes over my head. So, yeah, but always trust the internet, especially fans of IPs, to make something that's lore and fan friendly.
Always trust the internet.
Well, in terms of making like remakes, like in terms of, let's say a developer said to you, "Oh, we're making a Terminator game."
Yeah,
trash.
Yeah.
If a fan said to you, we're going to make a Terminator game.
Oh, it'll happen.
Yeah. It's going to be good. Look at the modders. The kind of mods that people make. Developers go, this game, like Witcher 1. Developers like, we're done with this game. People are like making mods for that game that make it look stunning. And it's just like, you can trust the internet to make something. That's what I meant there. Not trusting.
Right, okay. I was like, wow, man. That's a statement for us to make.
Should we jump on to news?
Let's do some news.
I like that. Yeah. Kicking us off, cinematic platformer Stella is coming to the Nintendo Switch. Stella released on Xbox, PlayStation 4, and PC late last year, and like I said, it's now coming to the Nintendo Switch. It's releasing on the 13th of March. It is developed by Skybox Games, and it's best seen as a Limbo-esque style platform adventure game. It's not a puzzle game, it's a platform adventure game. It looks very pretty. You play as a young woman who's basically going through the end of the world. You checked the trailer out, didn't you, as well?
I did check the trailer out. It was perfectly fine.
Yeah,
there is a really nice scene with the arrows.
Yeah.
When they're in the background, the arrows come flying over. It does look really nice.
It doesn't look groundbreaking. It doesn't look like, oh my god, this looks like it's going to be a new game to break my console. But if you like those kind of cinematic adventure games, if you're looking for something that's kind of chilled maybe, or even a short story, then it's definitely a game worth checking out. You can see the trailer playing now. And it's coming to Nintendo Switch. At the moment, I checked for you guys. At the moment, it is priced at $11.99 on PlayStation. Ooh. So I guess it will release at a pretty similar price on Switch. Maybe slightly more.
Yeah.
Switches can be a bit more expensive. So maybe $12.99, $13.99. Purely because Nintendo's licensing fees are a little bit more expensive than Sony's. Next up, World of Horror dropped onto the Xbox Game Pass this week. It also released on Steam in early access. Now, World of Horror is developed by Panstaz, and it's a very old school style, black and white horror adventure narrative game.
8-bit.
Heavily inspired by, if anyone knows Junji Ito, who is made the mangas, the Spiral mangas, lots of other horror mangas. He's very well known in the horror manga world. I've read Spirals, and that's really cool. But also very much inspired by H.P. Lovecraft, which about everyone knows. I mean,
everything is.
Yeah, everything's inspired by H.P. Lovecraft. Did you check out the trailer?
I watched the trailer.
You interested?
No.
No? Why not?
Why? Because I was just like...
It's a game I can imagine your brother liking.
The 8-bit.
I think your brother would like this game.
Obra Dinn looked fine in the 8-bit, and like heading towards that. I was like, oh, that makes sense, this.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, pixels don't scare me.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that knife going in the guy's eye. Well, that's a nice piece of, animation, but that's not going to scare me.
Yeah. Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see how it is. I think the focus here will be not so much on the scares, but more on how well written it is. If it's good writing and a good story, then.
So is it more of a visual novel then?
But I get the impression it is more of a visual novel.
So why am I doing it in 8-bit?
Cheaper.
It's not cheaper at all.
Cheaper to develop. Hey?
Well, they've got to spend more time.
Easy. Copy and paste. Just hold down your mouse and
that bit's filled. Yeah,
easy. See? Game developer. Me. I'll play Dreams.
Now I've got it all. Now I thought it was. Yeah, I don't understand the choice, the design choice. The
I get that. Yeah,
choice.
I get that. So it is, just to give you an idea of the story. We didn't get much on the story, but it's basically a supernatural horror game set in a small, quiet village of Japan where, have a guess what? Shit starts going weird.
At the end of the world's coming. You've got to stop it.
That's it. You got to find out what goes on there. Next up, WEAKLESS. Did you check the trailer out for this?
Yes, I did. Was this the 3D platformer? Where you've got two guys you pick between and you can... Yeah.
So WEAKLESS is releasing on PC on the 4th of March. Now this is a, like you said, 3D platform adventure game where you play as two characters. It's single player, it's not co-op, it's single player. You play as two people. And the idea is one of them is deaf, one of them is blind. And it's a puzzle elements where you must solve them together. Now,
God, it's Hear No Evil, See No Evil.
That's what I mean. Please. I instantly was like, why don't they just remake the car scene from See No Evil, Hear No Evil?
Yeah,
that's one of the best things ever.
Brilliant. Happy days.
The blind guy's driving and the deaf guy's got to tell him where to go.
Yeah.
Like, that film is, I love it.
It's so wrong, but it's so good.
I love it. When the blind guy, I just like the thing at the beginning. When she, his sister, so the blind guy's black. And she says to him, "You're as was it?
Oh God,
you're blind.
Yes.
You're as blind as you are black." And he goes, "I'm black." Does Dad know?
Richard Pryor's the best.
Richard Pryor is great. And there's a few scenes where the deaf guy, and he's like, "So you're telling me you can't hear me at all?" "I don't know. Shout in my ear and maybe I can." So he's like, "Can you hear me?" He's like, "Oh my God, I heard you for the first time." "You did?" "No, I'm deaf." Yeah, I can recite that film. It's so good.
Anyway, back to the game. WEAKLESS.
This game here, WEAKLESS, is a lot more cute, and it's actually set in what they really emphasise, a bioluminescent world. It looks quite cute.
Trees glow.
Yeah, basically, it looks quite cute. It looks pretty. It looks like it's gonna have one of those. What they're going to go for anyway, like a deep and meaningful story.
It'll have an environmental hook to it.
Yeah, and it definitely gave me vibes of Brothers. You remember Brothers? Where it definitely gave me vibes of Brothers. Well, obviously, Brothers you could play co-op. This was just single player.
What I quite liked about it was the one of your characters is their world is all nice and colourful and everything like that, and the other one it all goes grey and dark.
So that would be blind.
That would be the blind one. So I think they're going to play around puzzle-wise with these two different,
that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Different ways, which might be quite nice.
Yeah, there's definitely potential there.
Yeah.
Definitely potential. So yeah, it's releasing on PC only for now on the 4th of March, but they are hoping to bring it to consoles at a later date in 2020. Moving on, Cosmocrats, I think it's called, was announced for PC and is coming this year. This is a zero-gravity physics-based puzzle game that is being developed by Pixel Delusion. It's full of tongue-in-cheek humour, And honestly, I think the game looks super fun.
Yeah, it's a physics puzzler.
You play as these drones who have got to basically, looks like, build space stations.
Yeah, the space stations are falling apart. You've got to put them back together by pushing them into the right bits and make the bits connect. Yeah. But of course, you're bouncing off everything and you have no control of anything. So
it's and it definitely went for that tongue-in-cheek humour in the trailer where it says like the world's most expensive drones, and then it comes in with a little label up top that says, rubs it out and says the world's state-of-the-art drones.
Yeah.
Things of I don't mind games go for a light-hearted sense of humour if they don't kind of overemphasise on it, like look how funny we're being. But no. I done the Catastronauts thing here first of all. I was like, oh, it's a space game about rats.
See, why aren't they doing these?
I don't know.
Catastronauts should have been cat astronauts, right? Not the whole catastrophe astronauts thing. Now we need rat.
Was that was last year, wasn't it, Rez?
Yeah.
We both went along. Where are the cats?
Where are the cats?
The guy's like, what?
The cats. Oh no, it's a catastrophe in astronauts. Are there any cats in it? No, there are now. I like to think that it's because of us.
Yeah, I mean,
constantly bitching and moaning about the fact there weren't cats in it.
I think it definitely was us. But yeah, Cosmonkrats. I feel I'm saying it right. Cosmonkrats is releasing on PC later this year, but they are hoping to bring it to consoles as well. There's no set release date. I would say this is the kind of game I can imagine a summer release. Like normally when we get this kind of announcement, we're normally around about 4 or 5 months off release. Maybe it picks up. Maybe they release because they announced this. Sometimes a publisher goes, "That game looks really cool. We'll help you get it to consoles." It gets pushed back a little bit and ends up releasing on consoles and PC at the same time.
Yeah,
we'll see. And the final bit of news: Racing Apex, a game that we loved 2 years ago, 3 years ago at EGX.
Yeah.
We haven't seen or heard anything from it since. And considering we played it in, I was going to say finished state, but it was definitely a pretty well built. It was
pretty well built, yeah.
3 years has passed, and now Racing Apex is finally getting an unveiling, and they're doing this because the car's got a cover over it and an unveiling on the 26th of February this month. So next week, 26th is when you can find out more about it. So this game is developed by Lucky Mountain Games, being published by Curve Digital. And they've been quiet for a really long time on this title. But it is honestly one of our standout games.
It was Sega Rally. It was the Sega Rally again, except they put real hard physics in it. And it was really good fun. I was awful.
Tom was actually quite good.
Tom beat you.
Tom beat me.
And then Tom beat
Tom beat Journo afterwards. Yeah. He was really pissed off.
He was not happy about that,
was really angry about it.
Yeah.
Tom was shocked because Tom's just bad at everything.
Yeah.
But he actually done alright at this game. But yeah, like you said, you look at it straight away and you go, oh, this is an arcade racer. And then you play it and you're like, oh, this plays like a sim.
Yeah.
It's really, you need to really play into, it is a full-on racing game, like not straight up sim racing game, but if anyone's playing out something like Grid, it's that kind of racing game where it has
the arcade
sim elements.
You've got to watch for it. I really liked it. Really liked it. And then we heard nothing. I thought it'd been cancelled.
I did as well. I completely thought it was gone. And it was only about 3 months ago that I heard a rumour about it. Then some other stuff coming through on emails that we weren't allowed to talk about. And now we're finally getting an unveiling on the 26th of February. So that'll be interesting to see what they say about it.
So I'll be out on the 28th. 29th is the Friday.
One thing I wanted to ask
Hang on. February 29 this time? Or 28 this? We leap year?
I don't know what day it is today, mate. I don't know if it's leap year or not.
Definitely a quad day.
Yeah. Question I want to ask you though.
Yeah.
So I can see that this whole marketing ploy of, hey, we're going to build up some hype, we're going to unveil it, and things like that. Does this work in the indie game scene?
No.
It doesn't, does it?
No.
So, I mean...
Think about it like this. Who's heard about this?
No one.
Yeah. Anyone listening to this, the only people hearing about this, because they've sent this press release out to everyone. Has anyone said shit about it?
No.
No. The only people who can do these sort of press events things are Devolver Digital.
Yeah.
That people listen to, and that's because they're going to do something
big
messed up.
Publishers
once we go to AAA, because there's usually a lead in, but indie game wise,
Devolver Digital, like you said, they're the only ones that can go. But I mean, I'm glad they're not. When I first read it, I was like, oh no, they're going to do a live stream and I was going to watch it. They're not. They're just putting a video out for the unveiling with a press release.
Yeah.
So I get trying to build a little bit of hype around it. You could argue that they're trying to get 2 news stories or 2 pieces of content out of one by getting people to write about it. Some publishers, some small publications, like online publications, might pick it up and throw a story out. Hey, unveiling here. I don't think it needs to. I think they just release and go, hey, the game's coming out in a week or 2 weeks' time or whatever like that. And
you just get in touch with as many different influencers as you can, and they'll have spent money trying to make this thing.
Yeah.
When they should have just sent out a whole load of codes and then gone, right, just talk about this shit.
Yeah, definitely.
So send us some codes.
Yeah, that's it.
3-4 codes.
And that takes us on to our main topic. Main
Ooh.
topic this week, as I said at the beginning, is pretty chilled out. It's just a general little chat about what we think 2020 is going to be remembered for is its gaming trend. Like I said, 2018 was definitely the year of the Battle Royale, right? Everything was Battle Royale.
Yeah.
We had Battle Royales that smashed it with Fortnite, PUBG, still being played now by a big player base. We had Battle Royales that no one remembers, like Radical Heights. And Storm Divers that never end up being a thing from Housemarque. Like, all this stuff came and when Paladins put in a Battle Royale mode, no one really plays it. Like, all this stuff kind of went on, and it's very much now we have had a game just released in the Hunt Showdown, but I would argue more that isn't your stereotypical Battle Royale. That is more of just an old school small team shooting game. Like shooting multiplayer with a
closing area and
what you call it? A computer controlled
AI?
Yeah, like mechanic basically. There's an enemy on there like
Oh, okay. So kind of like Dauntless did when they're trying to play with the idea.
Yeah. Last year we had a lot of roguelike Metroidvanias. They were everywhere. I mean, they're around everywhere every year.
Every year,
but they were a lot last year. So, what do you think this year is going to be remembered for? Both it could be just indie game, AAA wise. Like,
well, usually you can follow it on from like the huge game was Fortnite, and then we saw everyone else do it. Then there was Dead Cells, and then everyone else started pumping out your roguelike hardcore ones. So, and I've been trying to think of what was the one last year that everyone went, wow, that was really great, what a moment.
Last year wasn't a great game, really, was it?
No, I can't remember a moment last year where it was like... So I've then moved myself over towards what's going on mobile at the moment.
Yeah, okay.
What is being pushed on us all the time, and it's MMOs. I think we're about to head into some sort of MMO scene, a proper...
coming back.
Yeah, but ones for consoles. So not just these free-to-play, money grab, you just suck in there.
Amazon have got the MMO come out this year, haven't they? That first game.
Have they really?
Called New something. Yeah, keep chatting and I'll find out what it's called.
Oh, okay. I haven't paid attention to that, but I think we're going to head towards this whole, back towards an MMO one. They're going to try and circle it back now that they've started to show that it is possible on consoles. And especially with this generation heading towards your next-gen consoles, they're going to look at upping it. They know they can sell microtransactions now. They know the loot box system is hated against, but there is a way of sneaking them into the games.
They know what they can get away with and not get people get pissy at.
Yeah. And, we've had Black Desert come out, which was okay. I didn't play a lot of it, because I don't think it's going to be aimed at me, but they are looking at social gaming. Fortnite is about getting people together socially. They're going to be looking at doing that next step. And mobile games have been pushing MMOs.
Yes, it is
crazy.
An MMO called New World.
Right.
Atrium awaits. Legend has led generations of explorers and supernatural frontier known as Atrium, rich in a powerful substance known as Azoth, which many believe to be the source of eternal life. Atrium has beckoned. So it's a supernatural inspired MMO. I'll put the trailer on. You can sign up now. You can pre-order the game now, and it's actually the beta is releasing in April, so it's not even that far away. I've seen the trailer for this. I remember.
Okay.
This is Amazon's first game, and a lot of people. I remember when people. I didn't even think about this. A lot of people when they announced it were like, "Why are they making an MMO? No one plays MMOs anymore."
Yeah.
And if any company's going to have a market research team that's going to be nailing that stuff,
seeing what people are buying.
It's
They
going
know
to be
exactly
Amazon.
what people are buying.
So, yeah, do you know what? I didn't think of that, and you have. Yeah, that could, because an MMO, like they said, they can release it in an early access beta.
Yeah.
Because they're ever growing games. They're games that evolve over time, and
Yeah.
yeah,
And they're looking for that live service thing. They like those.
yeah.
These are Romans coming in.
It's.
Sorry, I'm watching it for.
I'll put a trailer up for people.
listeners.
I'll put a trailer up for people.
Get over and
for
watch
now.
the trailer.
New World, so it'll be up now. Audio listeners can check it out. New World is the Amazon game, which I completely forgot about until Dan mentioned MMO. Now, this isn't a gameplay trailer, unfortunately.
No.
There is. All we know about gameplay is there are hands-on previews on our IGN. Like the big dogs have got hands-on previews of the game of only an hour, which if anyone's playing an MMO will know that that's literally turning the game on. But there you go. You've got supernatural creatures in it. It could be. Also, we're now in a stage of gaming where so many companies have really let players down that they'll know that they can't release a half-assed piece of crap. Look what happened to Anthem. That was because it was half-assed. That game's in development for even another 6 months and then releases in early access. It doesn't get nearly as much crap. Whereas I think they know that this game's been in development, I think, for about 3 years. And they can't release that. They know, as their first game, they release that that's half-assed. It won't pick up.
Anyone who's played Wrath of the Lich King or remembers the build up to Wrath of the Lich King for World of Warcraft, that reminded me of that, and that just got me excited.
You're excited for that?
Yeah,
it's coming. I think it's coming to PC
saw no
first.
gameplay there.
PC first, and then consoles later. But it is definitely coming to all places, and potentially there because they have announced. Remember, Amazon have announced they are working on a streaming service.
Yeah,
like Google Stadia.
Yeah, so for me, I think it's gonna the big thing last year and into this year has been MMOs on mobile. There are lots of ways to sell bits. It's a market you can keep going with. As you said, there's always DLCs. We're looking at it with Division, Destiny going free to play, and all of that lot, and how they pushed it.
Coming back as potentially free to play.
Anthem coming back as free to play. I think this is going to be the year of MMOs. But it's going to be MMOs. It's not going to be live service 4-player shooters. We're going to talk about, you visit that main hub city and there are 150 players in there. Some of them wearing sweet-ass armour so that you're going to spend your entire time going, I need that shit in my life.
Yeah.
And then you get the mount you want. And then I am right back in the world of Warcraft. And my wife leaves me.
Question. Amazon. Are they an indie studio?
No.
That independently published and developed?
No.
One of the richest companies in the world.
Yeah.
Probably have more money than EA.
Yes, they do.
They probably do.
They do.
Probably just behind something like Google. Or
because you've got Bezos, who is doing whatever the hell he wants, whenever he wants.
Yeah. Microsoft's always going to be minted because Bill Gates.
Well, yeah, they just rake it in all
Epic
the time.
have got to be up there now. Surely.
I think Epic have done all right, but I don't think they're up with the big
I reckon
boys
they're
yet.
above Steam.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
Do you think Steam is still up there above
Steam
Epic?
will still be above Epic, yeah.
Fair dues. Do you know what? I think you might have nailed that.
No arguments.
So
there.
one thing I hope.
Go on.
I've always struggled with MMOs. Now, the reason I've struggled with MMOs is I tried to put my finger on it for ages. And I only put my finger on it after putting in like 70 hours to Final Fantasy Online with your brother.
Yeah.
Now, the issue I think I have with MMOs are where I didn't invest in them or get involved in them when they were first come out. Going back to them, I find really hard because the quest system is normally very much fetch quest. Go do this, grab this, come back, go do that. And it's all about the leveling up the armour. It's about the bigger picture. And I always played them as a story quest game, and I was always like, this is boring.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I went the other route of I played lots of story games and then come back to MMOs. Where a lot of people played MMOs and then we're like, oh my God, and we went to story games like, why can't I play with people? Where's my armour?
Yeah.
So I hope this new breed of MMOs, Amazon's new MMO, is a straight up offers like Destiny. The story, the quests in that are fun. There are some that go on for 2 years. There are some that go on for 5 minutes.
And there are different ones that you won't know is a quest, but you've picked up something. It's taught you through. I hope what they do is that they've looked at The Witcher. I hope what they've gone is they look at it and go, actually, people want a story. Your quests don't have to be just fetch quests.
Yeah.
You can have whole stories that last 30 hours, and then when they finish it, they go, shit, that was a side quest. I've travelled nowhere, and this is a living, breathing world. Yeah. I mean, you look at the popularity over the last few years and the massive growth of Dungeons and Dragons and people watching online streams. They want living, breathing worlds. They want to be able to tell stories, and they want to tell stories with their friends. You can't do that with fetch quests.
No.
So you've got to have these things that people are finding out secrets. They're finding these bits, and then all of a sudden it's spread everywhere, because that's how you make people talk about it. And
I was just reading a preview quickly for New World.
Yeah, go on.
From PC World, and this is just
PC.
So World. This isn't context because we don't have context. This is just the conclusion of the preview.
Yeah.
Is what if people didn't get invested? That's my real worry with New Worlds. Obviously, people not picking up.
Yeah.
When Amazon Game Studio described New World, it sounds neat. Thousands of players all vying to control of this island, building forts and declaring war and jockeying for position. The non-combat roles sound interesting as well, with the developers telling us that you can role play as an archaeologist or an engineer, or whatever you have to. With no structure, anything ultimately depends on how players react to New World. If they embrace it, Amazon's vision could become reality, and New World could become the blueprint for the sort of future of MMOs, or at least a bright spot in the tempestuous genre. I don't know what tempestuous means.
Like rocky.
Okay.
Well, not rocky, but harsh seas. You get
like
tempestuous
like
seas.
Rocky films.
Rocky, yeah. When BA punches Drago, that's my dream movie.
If they don't, well, we'll have another Sea of Thieves or another Fallout 76 on our hands. Just another sandbox that sounds conceptually interesting, but minute to minute boils down to players feeling bored and trying to wire their own entertainment in from a limited toolset. It's hard to know which future is in store, and maybe that's one of the surprising aspects. In fact, Amazon, with all its resources, can't guarantee a hit game either. So it sounds like they're being very ambitious.
Well, but the bit I'm more excited by now then is that they were talking about area control.
Yeah, so it's like...
So this is what I've wanted for ages in like Grand Theft Auto, was that I wanted a living map that when you slowly built your gang, you could take over other ones, but you had to watch out that someone else came in and snuck bits. But if you can be an archaeologist and have this other side, or maybe go into the bureaucracy, so you help run a city roleplay-wise while building an army... And then if they've got thousands of players and you can be like, right, we're going to raid this place. You get 100 people together to go and bombard that other side, take over capitals.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking Game of Thrones, different people. That's going to be immense if it...
Could be interesting. It could actually be interesting. Game was on my radar. It is now.
Yeah.
If you pre-order
it, you can play it
in April, or you can play it in May when it fully releases. Or I think it releases... I don't think it fully releases in May. It says coming May. I don't know if that's early access or...
It'll probably be early access.
But yeah, well, I think...
Go on.
I was thinking about the same as you was doing. I was thinking, what was big last year?
Yeah.
And initially I went down the deck building route. Because I was like, there's a lot of deck builders last year.
There were a lot of deck builders
I think they could go on with that. But I think we'll see a lot more games taking on a deck building as a sub-mechanic. Like... This game has deck building mechanics in it, much like games have RPG mechanics.
Like Nowhere Profit and bits like that. That kind of had your board game move, deck mechanic, Trials of Fire. But
I think this year... So Pokemon released last year.
Yeah.
And wasn't great.
No.
I own the game. I played 5 hours of the game. I'm not going to talk any more about the game.
Hang on, before you go anywhere, is this just because we're waiting for Hollow Fist? And we
No, I'll talk about it in a minute.
That should be the best game of the year. In fact, that's already our game of the year, even if it doesn't come out. I
think creature battlers are going to... I think companies are going to smell blood. Temtem's already doing really well online.
Yeah.
I don't like Temtem. Well, I said Temtem's got a lot of potential. I don't like where it is at the moment.
Yeah.
Temtem's... But it's smashed online. So it's sold over 1 million copies. Straight away, which is insane for an indie developer. Obviously, we have Hollow Fist around the corner.
Yeah.
Well, I say around the corner in a year's time.
Game of the year.
Ooblets.
Oh, yes.
And these games, and I honestly think that this year we could see a big influx of creature-style battlers. They're cute. People love them. People really attach themselves with the creatures, the artwork. And I think when we go to Rezzed or EGX, or as we start getting press releases coming later this year, we're going to get games coming out that involve cute creatures that you collect, or you battle, or you hunt. And I think creature battlers, I think Pokemon's gone, mate. I think Pokemon as a game, not as a franchise, that's never going to be touched.
No.
But as a game, knowing that, okay, it done well in terms of sales. Pokemon's always going to do well.
It's always going to do well in sales.
But in terms of people, like user reviews, people hated it.
But that's because we've played it so much now, and I think they've misjudged the age of the audience now. They're still selling it as if this will be the first time anyone's played Pokemon, whereas your largest market for Pokemon now is people in their 30s.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they've played them all, and now they want
I think that's what Holofish is going to attract so many people in, because it has that Adult Swim humour to it. That people go, this isn't a kid's game. This brings me back all the nostalgia of a Pokemon game, but it's not a kid's game. Ooblets, I think, just is going to be... Ooblets is going to have the audience that, like, Stardew Valley had. Like,
yes.
It's got that audience. People love it for that. It's gone...
I think Ooblets is going to be for the kids who want their own battler. They don't, they don't want to go into Pokemon because that's not cool, because that's what Dad plays. Yeah. And everyone knows Dads are lame.
I hope Ooblets has... So, I know there's a battle system, but I keep wondering if... Because it has the farming mechanic. I wonder if you can just farm your Ooblets and sell them, if you don't ever have to battle them. If you could just have a whole ecosystem.
So basically...
You're like a breeder.
You're a breeder.
Yeah,
you're an Ooblet
and you
breeder.
sell them on.
That would be immense if you could do that.
That's what I mean. Like, I wonder if... I like that in stuff like... Even like Stardew Valley. Like, you never have to own animals. You could just be a crop farmer. Or Also, Stardew Valley's been made in dreams, and it's really good. But yeah, it's...
That's an interesting one. I think you might...
I think creatures, if not this year, I think more towards the end of this year, but I honestly think creature battlers are going to be...
I don't think we'll see it this year. I think you might be right for next year, though. And the only reason I don't think we'll see it this year is because I don't think everyone's had enough time to jump on the band. Having seen what Temtem did, I don't think they've had enough time to jump on the bandwagon and get themselves there. Ooblets and that lot were before, but I don't think they've had the promotion in it. In fact, Ooblets were dropped, weren't they?
Yeah, they were Glumberland.
Yeah.
They left Glumberland because they are now solo.
Yeah.
Epic. Because that was the whole big hoo-ha. Remember, people kicked right off.
Yes.
So they're only going to Epic. And it's just like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
We won't get into that.
So I think either it'll be like the end of this year, and we see it really kicking into next. So end of this year will be the ones who noticed this curve, and we're like, you know what, I reckon this is going to happen. But then into next year, I think you're right. I think we're going to see creature battlers, online multiplayer, and then I want to see breeders. Man, I want breeders now. I love the idea of someone having like one of those horse places with the stables, but inside each one is a different sort of ooblet. Yeah, it's like, this is Gary. You won the 315 at Oxbridge. Yeah, I'll let you breed with him, but only for 2,000 credits.
I love it when you watch.
Ooblets.
I love it when Temtem put up their like a thing on Twitter or something, and the amount of people are on there. When's this coming to the Switch? Nintendo are never letting Temtem come to the Switch. I don't care what people think. If you think a game that's better than Pokemon and there's an online MMO Pokemon, which people have been asking for years, it's coming to the Switch, I think you clear your mind, mate. That's never happening. Like, why? Yeah, but anyway, I think it'll come to consoles. I do think it'll come to consoles.
Yeah, Xbox definitely. I can definitely see it in Xbox. I don't know about PlayStation.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Xbox Game Pass, because
definitely.
where it will have the online monetization being an MMO, they can get away with going stick it on Game Pass. More people play it, more chance of catching fishing in that and
making more money with that.
Indeed. But yeah, that wraps up. That wraps up. You're actually going to be, after all that, I'm actually quite excited to check out this New Worlds now.
Yeah, me too. I didn't even know about it, so now I'm like, ooh.
Definitely, I have to try and see if we can pull some press strings. And see Amazon are a new company. They're probably going to want everyone to talk about this game.
Brilliant. I'll tell them I'll stream it.
That's it. But that's going to wrap up, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for watching or listening, whatever you chose to do. If you did listen to us, when we do put a video up every week as well, which is the full podcast, the benefit of watching the video is any game we speak about has the trailer playing at the same time, so you can see exactly what we're talking about. Because we don't always do a great job of explaining it. We try our best, but we don't always do a great job. But then Also, if you watched us, but you always find you don't have time to watch us, we are available on all podcast services in audio form. And finally, we are over on Patreon, patreon.com/Indecredible. $1 a month will get you access to our pre-show. And we're about to record a post-show now. It won't be hugely long because we're heading out. But it will still be a post-show where we're going to probably talk about, I don't know, maybe we can look at more at what New World is.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, guys, for stopping by. I have been Lewis. You can find me at What's Up Woody on any service if you want. Down where can they find you?
Just type in the Dice Bear and that's me.
That's it. Anything board game, check out Dan. Until next time, guys, have a great time with your life. Don't miss us too much. And just make sure you stay indecredible.
Yeah, bye.